Hi, I'm Steve G. Jones, clinical hypnotherapist, and in order to bring you the Stage Hypnosis training program, I wanted to go to the center of the Stage Hypnosis universe, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's talk now about the Deepening Skit. So you've already had your test skit. You found out who's going to perform, who's not. You've eliminated the people who are not going to perform. You've already had your first skit, your first show skit with the musical piece. Remember, the test skit was the arm being pulled down or raising up or being stuck, and the first skit was the musical number where you're looking at everyone to see who's performing, and you're constantly rearranging your committee to get the star in the middle, the less interesting people on the edges, and at the very ends you have your anchors, your largest people. So all that's happened, and it's been entertaining the whole way. So you've been able to do your job of refining this committee, and you've also been able to entertain the whole time. So everything's working out really nicely. Now it's time to deepen the state of the committee members. Because remember, one of your primary jobs as a stage hypnotist is to keep this train moving forward. And as it moves forward, this entertainment train, they need to move more deeply. And as they move more deeply, they become more interesting. So we've got this dual slope going on here. The deeper they go, the more interesting they become. So the Deepening Skit is perfect right now. Sort of like in a hypnosis session where you have the induction and then you have the deepening. In the formal part of your hypnosis session, remember you had everyone be quiet and you had the blue light going on and so forth, and it's obviously time for the hypnosis induction. Well, you had them relax their bodies and so forth, and then you had a deepening where the cloud went away or the sun went down or they go down a hill and you're counting from 10 to 1. That was the formal part of the hypnosis session, but the entire show is actually a hypnosis session without them really realizing it. Some people will pick up on the fact, but it really doesn't matter. We're using a number of techniques throughout the show. We're using compounding, saying things 3 times to give them an extra punch, extra power. We're also using fractionation. Remember, we're bringing people up and putting them back down. Fractionation is going to continue throughout the show. And now, as you discover, we have a deepening after the initial deepening, which was the formal deepening. So we have a lot going on here. Now you see why stage hypnosis is so powerful. We're just coming at the committee with all of these different techniques constantly, and we're constantly refining the committee, removing the people who aren't performing. They really have no choice but to perform because of all these techniques that we have going on. And we're constantly doing this, so keep that in mind. As you're entertaining, you're also hypnotizing and getting them deeper and deeper and deeper. So in the Deepening Skit, what you want to do is focus on anything that's going to bring them to a deeper level of relaxation. Now, I want to give you some ideas, but I want you to know that these are not the be-all, end-all in terms of ideas. As with any ideas that I share with you in any of the modules, these are the ones that I like. These are the ones that are very common. These are the ones that are commonly used. And you may think, well, they're commonly used. I want to separate myself from everyone else and not use common things. The reason they're commonly used is because they work. So when you see a stage hypnosis show and you look at it and you say, well, they're doing what so-and-so did. Why? I'm going to do something different. You may want to think twice about that, because usually the reason 5 different stage hypnotists are doing the same thing is because it works and it's entertaining. And if you want to do something else, then you may want to test it out in a small crowd first. If you have a new idea and you want to test it out in a small crowd first. You never test anything that could potentially harm someone, but you may want to test variations on things. That's a great way to learn and grow. Comedians in Los Angeles, when they want to test something, they will go to the Comedy Store and they will perform usually at a time when not many people are there. It won't be a paid show. It'll be a show that they just go to, and they're just getting to walk in there and stand up. And Pauly Shore's mom, Mitzi, owns the place, at least at the time that I'm making this, she does. And she'll have people come in from The Tonight Show, for example, and use their material there. And they will perform it. Sometimes it bombs. Sometimes it's great. The writers are many times going there to test the material. If the material works and works well, they're going to use it in the show. They're going to give it to the host of the show to use on a major network that evening. If it doesn't work, they're going to rewrite it and test it again. So you need to get into this mindset of testing things on smaller audience where the stakes are lower. If you're being paid $3,000 for a show and there are 3,000 people there, that's not the time to test anything. That's the time to deliver your standard material that works. The time to test something is when you're doing a smaller show. Maybe you're doing a birthday party, or maybe you volunteered because you're just starting out and you want to test a number of things. Or maybe you're doing a show for a group of friends, or maybe it's a show for a civic group that didn't have any money, so they asked you to perform free, or they're just paying you a little bit of money and there's a small crowd. Or there's a civic group and they have little to no money and there's a small crowd. That's a great opportunity for you to use some of this material that you perhaps thought wouldn't work or you didn't know and you want to test it out. So keep in mind the testing that needs to happen and the level of the stakes. If someone's paying you a lot of money and there's a large crowd, then the stakes are really high. If it's a small crowd and you're getting little to no money, that's a great opportunity for you to test something out. Comics do this all the time in Los Angeles, all the time. They go to open mic nights where they're not getting paid anything, where the audience is there and they probably haven't paid anything to get in there. The stakes are extremely low. No one is really going to care if they bomb because they haven't paid anything. They can test. They can go to these open mics 5 nights a week and test. They find out what works and what doesn't work. What does work, they take to the TV show that has paid them $10,000 to be on a comedy show. And they know what works. They're going to deliver their A material. But you should constantly be writing new material and testing. Remember, the rule is you don't test anything that you think may hurt someone. You test things that are just variations of things that work and putting your own twist on things. Because as you go through this program, you're pretty far into the program now, module-wise, you're pretty far in. You should start to see some possibilities for yourself. You should start to look at this and say, hey, Steve G. Jones, that's great that you do it that way. Here's the way I want to do it. But when you change it like that, remember, you always test on a smaller group where the stakes are lower. So let's get back into the deepening skit. The deepening skit, as I've said, is designed to deepen the state of hypnosis. And it can be anything that works to do that. Some of the favorites that I have are the happy pill. I'll talk about these in a moment. The happy pill, alcohol, marijuana cigarettes. Now that's for adults only, and I'm not in favor of marijuana. Just bear with me, I'll get to it in a minute. And laughing gas. So let me explain all of that to you. First of all, let's go ahead and start with what probably caught your ear, which is the marijuana cigarettes. Are we distributing marijuana? No. Are we going to mention marijuana in a high school or a college or with any type of younger group? No. Never. We never mention that. Just like we never reference guns with younger people, we also never mention drugs of any kind with younger people. That is a rule that you need to stick by. However, if you find yourself in a Vegas show or doing a show in a bar or doing a show in a comedy club that serves alcohol where only adults are allowed, you have a little bit more liberty to do things in a slightly more risque way. And one of the things that you can do is in the deepening skit, you can have everyone imagining smoking imaginary, I emphasize that, not real but imaginary, marijuana cigarettes. And you can say it any way you want. You can say joints or pot or marijuana cigarettes, but you're distributing them, quote unquote, distributing them by handing them out to the participants on the stage. Here's a joint for you, here's a joint for you, or you just have them pass it down the row and take a hit off of it. Okay, so something that's obviously not venue appropriate for a younger crowd, if you hope to come back to perform next year for that crowd, but it's a lot of fun when you have an adult audience. You just hand the first person the imaginary joint, they take a hit from the imaginary joint, they pass it down the row, everyone gets high, What have you done? Well, first of all, you've got roaring laughter from the audience now because you just had everyone smoke an imaginary joint and seemingly get high. And these people are very suggestible. Either that or we've got our 20% who are probably just actors. But at any rate, it looks very interesting. These people look like they're getting high and there's no actual marijuana. And you will see people acting it out as if they're really taking a big hit or what have you. Some people will be a little opposed, some people will take a small hit, but at any rate, what does this do? Why are we doing this? What's the real reason we're doing this? Number one, to entertain. That's our primary focus after safety. But number two, we're deepening their state of hypnosis. If people think that they're high, they're going to go into a deeper state of hypnosis. Also, what do people do when they're high? They loosen up a little bit in most cases. Some people get paranoid, but by and large, people loosen up a little bit, especially if you have a group of people getting high. Everyone's loosening up and they're remembering their college days or whenever they smoked marijuana. Maybe they're remembering yesterday for some of them, who knows? But they are all now in more of a party mode and they're deeper in hypnosis. This acts as a deepening. So, very entertaining and it relaxes them more. Now, as I've said, this is not venue appropriate for younger people, so what can you do for younger people? Well, how about just some magical dust that can be sprinkled on them? Some magical dust that's going to allow them to go even deeper into hypnosis or to relax more. Sprinkling the magical dust. Now, I'm not making any drug reference here. It's not designed to sound like any kind of drug being, like marijuana smoke being blown on them. I'm talking about something that's venue specific for a younger crowd. So magical dust is wonderful. You're sprinkling on them, and as it gets on them, they relax more. What else? Let's talk about some more of the adult references that we can use. A happy pill. Any kind of pill would be inappropriate for a younger group, but a happy pill, give each of them a happy pill. When they take the happy pill, they relax more, they unwind more, and, more importantly for you, they go deeper into hypnosis and they're ready to have more fun. Alcohol. You can imagine what it would be like if all of these people were suddenly drunk. That's the type of mindset that you want to create anyway. And you can check on YouTube for my various street hypnosis videos about having people drink imaginary shots. These are people I just walked up to on the street and said, would you like to be in a street hypnosis video? And I had them imagine taking shots with me, and they started acting drunk. These are people I'd never met before. It wasn't set up or anything, just people I'd never met. Having them imagine taking shots got them into a mindset very quickly of feeling that they were drunk. So then we were able to do some other techniques that were interesting. So this deepening works really well, and it can be anything: a happy pill, alcohol, marijuana, magic dust, whatever you want it to be. As long as you get them deeper into hypnosis and as long as you are venue appropriate, keep that in mind. This is a great time for me to talk with you about being venue specific. You may notice in this training module that I don't use any cuss words. I don't use anything that's vulgar. I don't have any references to private body parts or anything like that. I do that for a reason, and the reason is that I feel that a stage hypnosis show can be a clean show. You can have a little bit of fun, such as with the marijuana cigarettes, for example, but for the most part, I feel that a stage hypnosis show can be clean, meaning no cuss words, no references to private body parts, no vulgar language, no vulgar references, things like that. You can have a completely clean show and have it interesting. However, in some venues where you go, such as almost anywhere in Las Vegas and certain comedy clubs and bars and so forth, they want what's called a dirty show. They want you to swear. They want you to make references to private body parts. They want you to use vulgar references and so forth. I want to tell you that this program doesn't teach that. It doesn't teach you how to do a dirty show because I'm not interested in that. The dirtiest this will get is with the deepening and the marijuana cigarettes. I don't go into all of that because I don't feel that this program would be appropriate for the large audience we want to reach in training people if I added that. I think it would turn people off, people who are learning how to do stage hypnosis. So keep that in mind. What I'm presenting here is the way to do it. However, I don't talk about the dirty parts. So if you're waiting for that, it's not in this program. That's not what this is about. However, once again, using your creativity, you can easily realize how you would substitute those things into what I have told you to make it into a dirty show. And if you're not into that, you may be thinking, why would anyone want that? Well, people at bars want to see that in many cases. They want to see you get vulgar and use swear words and have people come up and do things with each other that are somewhat risque and so forth. To get that information, all you have to do is go to any stage hypnosis show in a bar or any Vegas stage hypnosis show. You can probably even go online and get video of that or watch it on YouTube, I imagine. Realize that the training that I'm giving you is the foundation for everything that you can do in stage hypnosis. I'm giving you a solid foundation. How you flavor it, what flavors you put on, salt and pepper and different spices, meaning how vulgar you make it or how you change it to be more funny to suit your style, that's all up to you. And that is going to come as the result of you deciding which way you want to go with this. So when you're done with this program, what I encourage you to do is to think that over. Think first of all, do I want to be a stage hypnotist, or did I just take this program because I was interested in it and I wanted to learn it? That's fine, that's good enough. Maybe you just wanted to hypnotize your friends. But if you want to be a stage hypnotist, if you want to really pursue this, then what you need to do is start watching shows that people have done to get ideas. Now, you never take someone's idea. If someone does something in a unique way, you don't take that. The things I'm presenting to you in this program are things that almost all stage hypnotists do. This is just the basic framework for the way a stage hypnosis show goes. I'm not taking anyone's material in particular. I'm showing you what the majority of stage hypnotists do. You need to start developing your own flavor with this. You need to start developing your own style. The way you're going to do that is by exposing yourself to stage hypnosis shows. If you think, I might want to do a dirty show, start watching them or access videos of them online or order videos of them online. You don't even have to go to Vegas. You can just order show videos online and start watching them. This is going to get you to develop your style. Using the framework that I'm giving you, you can easily change things by making minor changes, just like the cigarettes, the marijuana cigarettes. It doesn't have to be dust that you're sprinkling on them. It can be a marijuana cigarette. There, I just made it something that's venue appropriate for a Vegas show or for a bar. All I did was change one word. I just changed it from dust to marijuana cigarettes, and it became venue appropriate for that. So you can go through this whole program and make changes like that here and there, and suddenly, voila, you have a venue appropriate show that you want to deliver. Okay, so let's talk about the deepening skit. And go ahead and uncross your legs. I'm constantly monitoring, thank you very much, I'm constantly monitoring people to make sure that their legs are uncrossed, because I want 2 feet firmly planted on the ground for insurance purposes and because I care about people. I don't want anyone getting hurt, and I also care about myself, and I don't want to be sued if anyone falls out of the chair. So that's why the assistant is constantly monitoring, and that's why I'm constantly monitoring for safety. It wouldn't take much for a person who's in hypnosis to just fall out of the chair. It could happen like that. So I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can do, and I'm also getting video evidence of doing everything I can do, so that if it happens, it's clearly an accident that happened that I did my best to prevent, but it happened anyway. It's going to happen. Usually people are not going to have anything serious happen to them when they do fall out of the chair, but it's going to happen. If it does, you just help them back in the chair. Unless they are, of course, injured, then you need to call for medical help, but that is extremely rare. And if you're vigilant, you're going to be able to generally avoid that. So Just realize your job is to keep watching them. So let's talk about the deepening skit. The deepening skit is great, and it's a lot of fun because the audience enjoys it, and you get everyone to go deeper into hypnosis. They're already in hypnosis. They're already having a good time. The audience is having a good time. Now it's time to intensify that. It's time to get them deeper. Remember, we've got fractionation on our side because we're bringing them in and out of hypnosis. We've also already done an induction and a deepening. The main one, when we dim the lights and we have the blue light on and we have everyone relaxing and our official induction and deepening are happening. Now we've got a deepening that's happening as part of the entertainment. The great thing about stage hypnosis is that all of these fairly scientific techniques that are happening that deal with the subconscious mind are also really entertaining. So here is one that's also entertaining. Now I could just say, okay, now we're all going to go deeper into a state of hypnosis, but instead I'm going to use the deepening skit. So everyone's eyes closed. Go ahead and close your eyes. Okay, and in a moment when you open your eyes, you are going to realize that I am sprinkling some magical dust on you. Some magical dust on you that allows you to relax even more and allows you to open up. This magical dust puts you in a great mood. So I'm using this to deepen the state of hypnosis, also get them to loosen up a little bit. Sort of like doing shots, if you will, which can also be a deepening skit. So I'm going to sprinkle some dust on you. You're going to feel that I'm sprinkling some magical dust on you, and you're going to allow yourself to loosen up, relax, because that's the effect that the magical dust has on you. It allows you to loosen up, relax, have more fun, and relax a little bit more deeply. Okay, so now I will go behind them and sprinkle the dust because I want the audience to see the reactions. So can you hand me the dust, please? Thank you very much. So this makes it fun for the audience. We have imaginary dust, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to sprinkle it. Now they don't know what I'm doing back here, so I want to actually touch them so they know when I'm sprinkling on them. And as I sprinkle it on you, you begin to laugh and you begin to loosen up and you begin to go more deeply into hypnosis. There's a little dust for you, and there's a little dust for you, and there's a little dust for you. Or I could blow it on them like this. Or I could pretend to dump it on them, a large amount of dust. I make it funny, I make it entertaining. So now everyone's kind of loosening up and relaxing a little bit more deeply. There are a number of ways we can do the deepening skit. I could also have them imagine smoking something that relaxes them. Now that's not appropriate for a high school group or any group of people who are younger, but I could have them imagine that. I can also have them imagine that they're inhaling laughing gas. I can have everyone do that. So everyone now, with your eyes closed, I want you to put up to your face the laughing gas mask. Put it up to your face and take a good hard whiff of that. Go ahead and breathe in that laughing gas. Wow. All right, and go ahead and take another deep breath of that. Oh my goodness. Wow. And you're going to have some individual reactions which are also funny. Okay. So you can all just relax and open your eyes. Okay. So that is an example of a deepening skit. We've done something fun and funny. Did you guys have any kind of physical reaction when we're doing that? I noticed we're doing this for demonstration purposes, but were there any actual reactions to that?
Just relax.
Relaxed? You felt relaxed? You felt more relaxed doing it than before you did it?
It felt a little funny.
A little funny? Okay,
yeah.
So I think you would be an excellent hypnosis subject. Now, I'm going to guess you had no response.
Just taking deep breaths did relax
you?
But, yeah.
Okay, good point. Sometimes the yogic deep breaths do relax people. How did you feel?
I relaxed.
You relaxed? Okay, good. Sometimes just deep breaths relax people. Now, we're just demonstrating here. I don't actually have you guys into hypnosis, but I suspect that you are a strong hypnosis candidate, and you are as well. Some people are going to have a stronger response, but everyone to this had some sort of response, and I'm not actually putting them into a hypnotic state. We're just doing this for demonstration purposes. So this is a very powerful technique, the deepening skit, and you can do it in a number of ways. Let's talk about another deepening skit that's very powerful, something you would never use in a high school or a college or with any young group, and that is the sleeping gun. It's a hypnotic gun and it looks a lot like this. It's not really a gun at all. In fact, do not bring a prop on stage that looks like a gun. No matter what show you're doing, no matter what the audience is, you do not want to have a prop that looks like a gun. This is the gun that we use. And we tell everyone ahead of time that I have a gun here. Looks like it's already working on you. I have a gun here. It's going to help you sleep. When I shoot you with the sleeping gun, you're going to go to sleep. So I simply load it up, or I pretend to load it up, and I'm going to shoot you. Bam. Okay, now if I have my microphone, I can just make a noise like common noise to make when you're doing something. You want to get used to making noises into your microphone when you do things. And I'm going to shoot you. Okay, very good. And now I'm going to put it on automatic setting. Another common routine in stage hypnosis is to set it to automatic setting. Makes it interesting, so I'm going to be able to wipe out the rest of the committee members with the automatic setting. Always make noises. Noises are interesting. Okay, so everyone falls asleep and sleep and sleep. Okay, so we arrange them comfortably. Everyone is arranged comfortably. Good. Okay, so now we have everyone sleeping thanks to the magical sleeping gun. So join me in the next module as I talk about even more skits that you can change and make into your own.